We love lists, we love rankings, we love knowing who has the most, the biggest, the best. So it's no surprise that Forbes' annual list of billionaires generates a frenzy of media attention, public scrutiny, and perhaps a tinge of envy. But what about those who don't want to be found? What about the wealth that lurks beneath the surface? The fortunes amassed away from the prying eyes of the public and the meticulous calculations of Forbes. This is the realm of the invisible billionaires, the masters of discretion whose wealth whispers, not shouts. Their reasons for staying hidden are as diverse as their portfolios. Some fear the scrutiny that comes with public recognition, the potential for lawsuits, or the relentless requests for donations. Others simply value their privacy above all else, preferring to operate in the shadows where their moves are not dissected by analysts and journalists. Whatever the motivation, these individuals and families have turned the art of wealth concealment into a science, employing sophisticated strategies to shield their assets and minimize their public profiles. Imagine a world where your net worth is a closely guarded secret, known only to a select few. No paparazzi stalking your every move, no public dissection of your charitable contributions, no pressure to conform to the expectations that come with a publicized fortune. This is the allure of invisibility, a freedom and control that most can only dream of. As we delve deeper into this world of concealed wealth, we'll explore the methods, the motivations, and the ethical dilemmas that arise when fortunes are amassed outside the public eye. Every year, Forbes releases its much-anticipated list of billionaires, a compilation of the world's wealthiest individuals and a testament to the publication's meticulous research and global reach. But how does Forbes actually track down these elusive figures and their vast fortunes? The answer, it turns out, is a mix of public records, financial analysis, and good old-fashioned detective work. Forbes scours the globe for information on publicly traded companies, real estate holdings, art collections, and other assets that can be traced back to individuals. They interview analysts, industry experts, and sometimes even the billionaires themselves to get a clearer picture of their wealth. But there's a catch. Forbes relies heavily on information that is publicly available. And while they've become quite adept at connecting the dots, their methodology has inherent limitations. The very nature of hidden wealth is that it's, well, hidden. Billionaires looking to avoid the spotlight often structure their holdings in complex ways, making it difficult, if not impossible, to determine the true extent of their wealth. This lack of transparency creates a blind spot in Forbes' otherwise comprehensive analysis, leaving the true extent of global wealth shrouded in mystery. The desire to amass wealth is often accompanied by an equally strong desire to protect it. For the ultra-wealthy, this means employing sophisticated strategies to shield their assets from prying eyes and maintain a low profile. One common tactic is the use of trusts. These legal entities allow individuals to transfer ownership of assets to a trustee who manages them on behalf of designated beneficiaries. Trusts can be structured in various ways to minimize tax liabilities, protect assets from creditors, and ensure privacy. Then there are the shell companies. These entities exist solely on paper, often incorporated in tax havens with lax disclosure requirements. Shell companies serve as holding companies for other assets, further obscuring the true ownership and control of wealth. And let's not forget about the good old-fashioned family office. These private entities manage the financial affairs of ultra-high net worth individuals and families, providing a range of services, from investment management to tax planning and philanthropic endeavors. Wealth, like a prized family heirloom, is often passed down through generations. But for some families, this transfer of wealth happens away from the glare of publicity, a carefully orchestrated dance of trusts, foundations, and private agreements designed to preserve both fortune and anonymity. These families understand that true wealth is about more than just amassing a fortune. It's about ensuring its longevity, its ability to weather economic storms and generational shifts. One common strategy is the establishment of dynastic trusts. These trusts are designed to last for generations, potentially indefinitely, shielding assets from estate taxes and creditors while providing a steady stream of income to beneficiaries. Another approach is the use of private foundations. These charitable organizations allow families to transfer wealth tax-free while maintaining a degree of control over how the funds are used. These families operate by a different set of rules, one where discretion is paramount and public recognition is anathema. They are the invisible dynasties, their influence felt but rarely acknowledged, their wealth a whisper in the corridors of power. The world of private equity is often shrouded in secrecy, a realm where vast fortunes are made and lost away from the scrutiny of public markets. For billionaires seeking to avoid the spotlight, private equity offers the perfect playground, a world where discretion is the norm and returns are often magnified by leverage and complex financial engineering. Private equity firms pool money from wealthy individuals and institutions, using this capital to acquire controlling stakes in companies, often taking them private in the process. These acquisitions are often financed with debt, amplifying potential returns and losses for investors. The lack of transparency in private equity makes it an ideal vehicle for billionaires seeking to avoid the Forbes list. Their investments are often buried within complex fund structures, making it difficult to track individual holdings and determine the true extent of their wealth. And then there are the carried interest provisions, the lifeblood of private equity profits. These provisions allow general partners in private equity firms to receive a significant portion of their profits as capital gains, which are taxed at a lower rate than ordinary income. This tax loophole allows private equity billionaires to further minimize their tax liabilities and accumulate wealth at an astonishing rate. Real estate, with its tangible assets and potential for appreciation, has long been a favored investment for the ultra-wealthy. But for billionaires seeking to avoid the spotlight, real estate offers more than just financial returns. It provides a cloak of anonymity, a way to park vast sums of money in assets that are difficult to trace and even harder to value. Unlike publicly traded stocks or bonds, real estate transactions are often shrouded in secrecy. Properties can be held through LLCs, trusts, or other legal entities, obscuring the true ownership and making it difficult to determine the extent of an individual's holdings. And let's not forget about the subjective nature of real estate valuation. While publicly traded securities have a clear market price, determining the fair market value of a piece of real estate is more of an art than a science. This subjectivity provides ample opportunity for billionaires to lowball the reported value of their holdings, further minimizing their tax liabilities and keeping their names out of the headlines. From sprawling mansions in gated communities to luxury apartments in global capitals, real estate offers billionaires a tangible symbol of their wealth, all while providing a level of privacy and tax efficiency that's hard to match. The bricks and mortar of real estate provide a fortress of sorts, shielding their wealth from scrutiny and preserving their low profile. The art world, with its hushed galleries, astronomical prices, and air of exclusivity, has long been a magnet for the ultra-wealthy. But for billionaires seeking to avoid the spotlight, art and other collectibles offer more than just aesthetic pleasure. They provide a discreet and portable store of value, a way to shield assets from scrutiny and potentially minimize tax liabilities. Unlike stocks or bonds, whose values are constantly fluctuating on public exchanges, the value of art is highly subjective and subject to the whims of the market. This lack of transparency makes it difficult to determine the true worth of an art collection, providing a level of anonymity that's particularly attractive to those seeking to avoid public scrutiny. And let's not forget the portability of art. A painting can be easily transported across borders, making it an ideal asset for those seeking to diversify their holdings geographically or potentially shield assets from political or economic instability. From old masters to contemporary masterpieces, vintage cars to rare wines, the world of collectibles offers billionaires a way to invest in passion assets, items that provide not only financial returns, but also personal satisfaction. These assets become a tangible reflection of their taste, their discernment, and their ability to acquire the rarest and most sought-after objects in the world. It's a world where beauty and value intertwine, creating a seductive allure for those seeking to discreetly preserve and grow their wealth. Offshore havens, those islands of financial secrecy scattered across the globe, have long been a cornerstone of wealth concealment strategies for the ultra-rich. These jurisdictions, with their lax disclosure requirements, favorable tax laws, and reputation for discretion, provide a safe haven for assets seeking to escape the scrutiny of domestic authorities and the prying eyes of the public. The allure of offshore havens lies in their ability to provide a legal, albeit controversial, way to minimize tax liabilities and protect assets from creditors. By domiciling assets in jurisdictions with low or non-existent taxes, billionaires can legally reduce their tax burdens, freeing up more capital for investment or personal use. However, the landscape of offshore finance is constantly shifting. Increased scrutiny from international organizations, coupled with a growing global push for financial transparency, has made it increasingly difficult to hide assets offshore. Governments are cracking down on tax evasion, sharing information across borders, and working to close loopholes that have long benefited the ultra-wealthy. Despite these challenges, offshore havens remain an integral part of the global financial system. As long as there are disparities in tax laws, regulatory regimes, and the willingness to enforce financial transparency, the allure of offshore havens will persist. The ability to amass wealth often comes with a responsibility to use it wisely and ethically. But what happens when that wealth is hidden from view, shielded from public scrutiny and accountability? The growing concentration of wealth among the invisible billionaires raises a host of ethical questions about fairness, transparency, and the social contract between the haves and have-nots. Critics argue that the strategies employed by invisible billionaires to minimize their tax burdens and shield their assets from public view deprive governments of much-needed revenue that could be used to fund essential services, reduce inequality, and promote social mobility. They argue that everyone should pay their fair share, regardless of their net worth or their ability to exploit loopholes in the system. Proponents of wealth concealment argue that individuals have a right to privacy, to protect their assets from frivolous lawsuits, and to manage their financial affairs with discretion. They argue that the pursuit of wealth is a powerful engine of economic growth, and that attempts to limit wealth accumulation or impose onerous taxes will stifle innovation and discourage investment. The ethical implications of invisible wealth extend beyond the realm of taxation and public finance. When a select few amass vast fortunes outside the public eye, it can distort political systems, undermine democratic institutions, and erode public trust. It's a reminder that true power often lies not in what is seen, but in what is hidden, not in the headlines, but in the shadows. The allure of wealth is a powerful motivator, driving ambition and inspiring countless individuals to strive for financial success. But what happens when the path to wealth is shrouded in secrecy, the strategies employed by the ultra-rich hidden from view? The rise of invisible billionaires presents a unique challenge for those seeking to replicate their success, a challenge that goes beyond hard work and entrepreneurial spirit. The strategies employed by invisible billionaires to accumulate and protect their wealth are often complex, requiring a deep understanding of tax law, estate planning, and international finance. These strategies are often inaccessible to the average person, requiring a level of financial literacy and access to specialized expertise that is simply out of reach for most. Moreover, the success of invisible billionaires is often built on a foundation of existing wealth, social connections, and access to opportunities that are not available to everyone. The playing field is far from level, and the ability to replicate their strategies is often limited by factors beyond an individual's control. Despite these challenges, the desire to achieve financial security and build a better future remains a powerful motivator. The aspiration generation, armed with information and a desire to create a more equitable world, is challenging the status quo, demanding greater transparency and accountability from those in positions of power. The pursuit of wealth has captivated humanity for centuries, driving innovation, fueling conflict, and shaping the course of history. But as we've explored the shadowy world of invisible billionaires, we've uncovered a deeper truth. True wealth is more than just a number in a bank account. It's about the power it confers, the freedom it affords, and the legacy it leaves behind. The invisible billionaires, with their discreet fortunes and hidden strategies, remind us that the pursuit of wealth is often a game played by a different set of rules. It's a game that raises profound questions about fairness, transparency, and the social contract that binds us together. But the story of wealth is not just about the ultra-rich and their secretive maneuvers. It's also about the countless individuals striving to build a better future for themselves and their families. As we navigate the complexities of the 21st century, it's important to remember that true wealth is not measured solely by financial assets. It's about the strength of our relationships, the health of our planet, and the well-being of our communities.